Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of my Macedon campaign for Divide at Impera. Today, we're going to be starting from a rather tenuous position. We just conquered all the Thrace, however, our enemies still surround us, and we can see the king of the Bosphorus Kingdom approaching us quite quickly. Very, very quickly. In fact, quite aggressively along our Thracian coast. So we're going to have to fight a battle against him. Simultaneously, we're getting ready for war against Rome, which I see as rather inevitable. So you can see we've taken Apollonia, we've taken Epidamos. There's simply just a lot of Roman presence right on my border, so I view war as inevitable. We also just conquered Thrace, so Thrace is extremely, extremely unstable. We're going to have to work hard to improve that stability. So without further ado, let's just get started from where we left off at the end of the last stream. You see, I actually view some of these investments I commissioned in Thrace as a bad thing. You see, I only have 9 food, and I can't possibly upgrade all of these city center buildings. It plainly will just drain all of my food resources, although I still do need to demolish this building and this building. This is definitely a wise investment. And I did want to invest into Amphia, although I do question. I mean, civil and market are exactly the same, although, yeah, market's definitely the play for us here. And at Dessos, thing is that I can see the king of Cimeria right here somehow charting a path all the way north to Dessos, so I don't really want to overcommit my resources. Simultaneously, let's see this. Actually, this I was thinking this building might potentially be sucking food, but alas, it does not, so it's actually perfectly fine to build it, and yeah, I quite like the direction things are going in Thrace. And now that we've decommissioned some of that construction, we have more income. We can use that to recruit some troops, to have access to Pella's recruitment populations. Let's see what that is. Actually, let's turn the music up a little bit. Don't understand. Every single time I get in and out of the game, it feels a little bit different audio-wise, but in any case, let's see what's going on here. We just recruited Agrionian, and we have 4 more slots here. We have enough for 2 pikemen. That'll essentially drain all of the middle-classmen, but let's do that. Let's get all the pikemen that we need, because we only had 4 before. Now we'd have 7. We don't really need 7, honestly. So yeah, let's just keep my... actually, maybe I should go for a middle class opening, or perhaps I'll just go somewhere else to recruit. In any case, my king's about to get quite an upgrade with those troops. I'm very happy with what I see there. Also, we still have this guy over here. Like, I wanted to take him to the king, so yeah, let's get him on his way, and then let's get our spy over towards Rome. I mean, see over here, this is actually a navy, not an army. They managed to take Epidamos. Jeez. My ally over there did not put up much of a fight. But yeah, these Roman Marines are pretty crappy. Definitely be able to obliterate them. Meanwhile, this faction's got like nothing left. Let's see if they want a peace treaty. Okay, they totally do. I mean, let's see if they're willing to pay us and how much that would be. Okay, not 6,000. We're not quite rolling in cash, but ooh, that was quite the payday. I'm happy with that. And also, is there anybody willing to enter trade relations with me? I mean, don't think the Galatians are particularly fond of trading with anyone.
I welcome you.
No, not these guys. The Romans, I really doubtful they'd be willing to entertain that type of thing. No, it appears that everybody who likes me and can trade with me already is. So, it's not quite going to happen, but with that cash infusion, I'm starting to think perhaps there's a worthwhile pursuit elsewhere. I mean, can't get over the hills to Thrace. Could go towards Larissa. We don't really have a whole lot of population in Larissa to recruit from. Not really all that worthwhile. Aphids are just recovering from my previous recruitment mission. I don't really think I should subject them to more scrutiny, although Sparta does have ample men for recruitment into my cause. Additionally, what about here? I mean, there are plenty of Thracian mercenaries that I could enlist into my army. But my army's very heavily armored. Why would I want to dilute that armor with such mercenaries? No. Let's just get 2 more pikes. But outside of this, I don't know what I'm going to get next. But the 2 pikes are going to be a healthy addition to my force, undoubtedly. Yeah, I'm thinking that really isn't much I can do here, so we'll have to wait. I mean, this army really could use some recuperation, but it doesn't really matter. So we can get siege. I really like this guy, actually. Okay, let's see what's gonna happen with those guys next turn. And then, you know what? We can go and get our second agent here. The money for it. Dude, that's awesome. It's really all I wanted to do. Now, here's really my grand plan. My grand plan. In the grand scheme of things, I'm hoping that we can prevent war with Rome for at least 6 turns. I just need some time to consolidate my Thracian holdings, beat back these wily Cimerians and their scheming, and finish recruitment for my king's army. They finish solidifying what my line of defense is, build up my garrison, stuff like that. Just basic consolidation. If I have like 6 turns, I feel like Thrace will be relatively stable and we'll have a lot more peace just along our frontiers, more stability, that type of thing. But in any case, let's see what's happening here. Governor in Thrace has developed more skills. That's good. Okay, we can go for the industrial one. I mean, there are going to be industrial buildings here. Of course, in Nasos, we did demolish 1 building. We already have 1 here in Anphia, like 1 civic building, and then a temple in Odessos. We have this over here. Let's go for a temple. No, it's going to lead to food loss, so we can't afford to build that. Yeah, everything is good right now. If you're in Thrace. I do not understand what this ship's plan is, but I don't really care, I guess. Just bizarre. Okay, we're just gonna keep these guys just locked up here. Go for military training. Go for military training. Perfect. Like, that's awesome. This way we're actually gonna get some training for these guys. And we're gonna level up over time. Now, okay, it doesn't look like we can move on the turn that we equip an agent, so both of these guys are frozen. So I could either recruit some guys or put them in patrol region, which I'm actually going to put these guys in patrol. These guys I'll just keep in the city, it doesn't really matter. Already have these guys going over here, so we'll be able to keep track of what the Cimerians are doing with those strange armies that just drift around. I want to bring this agent back towards the Roman side of things. I really want to keep tabs on them. I see them as a far greater threat than the Illyrians. Don't particularly care what the Illyrians are up to anyway. Their plots are unimpressive, incapable of doing any real damage to me. But here we have it. Just a turn for things to consolidate further. The rebellion in Thrace will get a little bit more momentum, but it's still in a very youthful stage, and I kind of like having my armies parked. It just is strange. These Cimerians are taking a very bizarre path. They might end up in Macedonia near Pella when they disembark, and I don't have a naval strength to stop them. We'll just have to see how this plays out, but the good thing is that the king's army is nearby and it's just full of elite troops. It does look like these Illyrians are still trying to meddle. Okay, Bithynia are at war with the Seleucids. That's quite interesting. Looks like this army is actually recruiting somewhat, and yeah, this force isn't particularly impressive. I can beat either of these armies with ease. They're just full of Thracian scum. Not even particularly good troops from Thrace. I mean, look, I can definitely go for another Cretan, and I can definitely go for another cavalry unit. So I'm going to recruit a cavalry unit from the middle class of Thessaly, of Larissa. You know, Thessalian cavalry is perfect. Larissa is actually a Thessalian city, so it's just apt. Next, it looks like there is one building that could use upgrading here. It'll definitely be this building. Okay, so this army is going to stay put. This army is going to stay put as well. We'll just allow public order to improve for another turn. It appears that our agents are not disturbed. The Romans aren't really all that interested in staying in Greece. They've just kind of, you know, just taken some settlements. But, oh, wait a minute. As I say that, look at that army that showed up. Again, I expect the Romans to eventually try to confront me. Like, the Romans are, by their very nature, an aggressive power. And there we have it. The Cimerians finally land. So we're going to try to bypass my two armies that are in a pincer around Pulpideva. But to attack a walled, fortified city and wear down your army, and then be attacked by my armies before you can even rebuild the defenses, it just seems rather stupid. I don't think that this is a smart stratagem at all. Wait, where is this army? Oh, okay. There's the secession of the Hellenic nobility, which didn't have a single province. Doesn't matter. The seas have been sacrifice a bull. I can sacrifice a bull. We have many bulls. We're Antigonids. We're wealthy. Now, let's see what's going on here. The king's army, I wanted to take him on a bit of a voyage to try to recruit another Cretan archer. We absolutely were able to, and now we are going to be back in Macedon. We're going to try to stir the people's spirits. March around proudly. Now, let's start to restore more order in Thrace. Let's see what we can do here. One, let's go confront these damn secessionists. They ran away to Bithynia. That's not good. Bithynia, though. Can we have a non-aggression pact? Can we do military access? Absolutely we can. Now we can just go ahead and finish them off. Thank you, Bithynia, for being just so gracious. Gracious hosts to my phalanges. Absolutely gracious hosts. No, but actually, this is a nice and experienced army that hasn't had a good fight in a while, so go ahead and give them some use here. These are the same men that broke the backs of the Adrician kingdom and subjugated the Thracians to Macedon's will. It's full of Sarissa lancers, so much lighter lancers than you'd see in my newer armies. Also, a lot of light hoplites, you know, kind of early game good melee infantry. These guys don't look like much, but they run super fast. They have like a movement speed of 4, or like skirmishers. But they have actually like pretty dang good combat stats. Like, you can see here, this one has 22 weapon damage, 10 melee attack, 21 melee defense. It's really good. 18 bonus versus cavalry. Like, they're not the best brawlers in the world, but they're far better than like any type of levy unit or anything like that. Now, this is an army made of royal squadrons, just sacred squadron, royals. Dude, they have 2 150 men cavalry units. I can't even recruit that. Plus royal peltas. Just, they have an exceptional army here in terms of quality. Just, I haven't let them recruit a lot of men. They don't have any cities, so I don't really think that they have a way to do that. But it matters not. Our army's assembling. Our cavalry's kicking into action. They might collide with my men before they're prepared in phalanxes. But you know what? We're going to give the order to down to pikes. Hopefully my men are going to respond. For the most part, I think most of my phalanxes are formed up now. And you can see the pikes are going down all the way down the line. The stragglers are getting into place. We're definitely formed now. Slingers have only killed 1 man thus far with their pelting, but it's going to be like really annoying and painful to the men of the secessionists to just be pelted without being able to respond. Plus, some of our cavalry just isn't particularly good at absorbing ammunition. And I think, ooh, 5 kills. Oh yeah, we're killing some like elite Macedonians, like just nobility. It's the best troops you can get as Macedon. This point in the campaign. We're murdering them, but they're killing our pikemen with those javelins. I don't like that. I want to start dishing out pin. We can go condense our line because their line is just not particularly strong. Don't like the way that their cavalry is moving. I'm going to move my light infantry to try to repel that. They go for a cavalry charge. We do have peltas, so surely we're going to start throwing some javelins as a response here. Just overall, I think the enemy is getting bogged down. Like, that was a heroic charge to try to break me when they perceived weakness. But now they're charging into the front of Sarissas. Now their men have been getting, like, counter-charged. We're getting surrounded. They have men starting to rout, men taking damage. My javelins are, like, making their aggressive units take a lot of damage. Like, that's a big thing. Like, the general's bogged down. He's lost already 50 of his companions. Just a lot of his cavalry units have taken immense damage. And a lot of units have crumbled. There's a general lack of banners for the orange team. Just overall, these elite Macedonians are spent. They can't just obliterate a middle-class army that's actually well-formed and in good health. Just can't do that. I'm going to try to surround these lone pikemen that are left for the enemy. They do have a sacred squadron that's still on the field and being quite a threat. Go put some units on them. I think overall, the enemy should start to break very soon. Like, we're completely surrounded. They should be taking a lot more casualties than they're inflicting. Sure, there's some pretty, like, high morale units, but there we go. So that's a win, just destroying a secession. Like, it wasn't a huge threat to us, but it definitely is a stabilizing impact to know that our political system is safe, and we've just increased the influence of our family, so that's pretty good. Let's just check in on the political system now that we've destroyed a secession. It's a perfect segue into that, because you have to have a stable, good political system to survive a campaign in Divide et Impera. But yeah, we'll ransom captives, we'll take the money. Don't really mind phrases. Very, very much functions on slavery to an extent. The way the Thracian economy works. And now, ooh, General has gotten an upgrade. Go get the one that improves how much my units cost. I think that this is an army with a lot of infantry, so yeah, we'll get the one that improves infantry stats. Then, I don't know, we'll have to do another stabilizing thing. Let's go defeat the rebels. Now, these are like Thracian tribesmen. They're long as spear peltis. They're very good anti-cavalry units, but not very good against infantry. These Thracian levy warriors, they're good for levies, but my men aren't levies. My men are professional soldiers, so they're going to teach them a bloody lesson. They had some javelin men. They're very bad javelin men. The Thracian javelin men are just the poorest of the poor of the Thracians. My Agrianian peltis are hardy mercenary tribesmen, hardened professionals. Like, sure, they're not particularly well armored, but these guys know their stuff, versus the Thracian peltis, who are just poor tribesmen drawn up from villages. Yeah, we're gonna absolutely smash the enemy with our superior cavalry. We have better skirmishers, and we have better infantry. Just overall, this rebellion, we're gonna silence it. We're gonna put an end to it. But we don't want to lose too many men, because we don't have the populations to recover these Macedonian troops. We've been struggling with public order this whole campaign, so at the end of the day, I just don't imagine that we're going to be able to replace the men we lose with ease in a newly conquered territory like Thrace. So our men have to be protected. Best way we can do that is by utilizing our archers, our skirmishers, for greatest effect. And of course, we can try to have some of these Greek infantrymen take a charge or two. That would be ideal. But yeah, we do need to shoot some arrows. And look at these guys. Silver Experience Chevron. They've been trading for this rebellion incessantly, but now my Greeks are launching arrows at them. The city-states came prepared to the field of mounds of deadly missiles. Hopefully we start seeing these Thracians routing soon. It looks like my Agriani and Peltas have decided to attack the same unit of javelin men. Yeah, now we have to target some new Thracians instead. Okay, let's see what happens here. I mean, this is a Thracian Rompia warrior. This is literally the deadliest infantry unit in the game. Of course, we should probably target them next. I think that's probably pretty important. You know, if we can. A lot of these Thracian units, they perform well if they can get the charge. If they don't get the charge, they won't perform that well. So, trying to maximize the potential of my infantry by being proactive with charging the enemy. Yeah, now we have some pikemen that can hit the flank effectively. We can charge my general into these Thracian infantry, like heavily armored companion cavalry are just gonna plow straight into these lightly armored Thracian warriors, but we'll also get some pikemen involved. You know, we have phalanxes pushing forward while my men hack at their spines. You can see routing all over the field. This fear takes hold of my enemies' hearts. enemy are running already in disarray. We'll get 2 charges on enemy general as his men get showered in arrows. Let's see how well these noble Thracians could survive being charged directly as men fire from the heavens. Let's get these cavalry units away. Thracian footmen, they can go. We just have to actually give proper attack orders so my men go berserk and hack at the enemy correctly. Excellent. And there we have it. Enemies should be routing en masse now as we chase down their best men. Hack them limb from a limb. There we have it. The Antigonids claim victory over the Dardanian rebel scum. But that still leads to Cimerians. It's the last active army in Thrace, and by far the deadliest. We knocked out the weaklings with 1 lightning strike. But can we actually save Pulpadeva, the capital of our province? Well, that waits to be seen. Let's see. We'll go slaughter these rebellious cowards. Let's see. Yeah, it looks like public order is actually not really that bad, considering that we still have provincial instability and stuff like that. I mean, there's just all sorts of things that are going positively, and it just could be much, much worse, to be honest. Now, Pulpadeva has a pretty well-formed garrison. It's just the garrison's not very big. It's a level 1 city. The Bosphorus Kingdom is in a pretty good position, but at the end of the day, even if they take Pulpadeva, they won't be able to hold it. They don't have particularly strong armies. Like even this force, it doesn't have the most infantry in the world, But yeah, we've done too much moving with these armies. Can't move any more of this army. I mean, we definitely should take these upgrades apart. Don't know if we're going to lose Pulpadeva now. We definitely might. But we'll move our spy. Get the spy activated, and yeah, it seems like a good use of a turn, honestly. Just I don't like the presence of his army at all. It's a regrettable outcome. I do not like how these guys just charted a path. It's so suicidal because there's going to be no follow-up. The Bosphorian Kingdom cannot maintain control of Pulpadeva for even 2 turns after they take it. It's inevitable that I'm going to end up overtaking them in the city. So why even attempt this madness, this lunge? But no, instead they just get within, marching distance of Pulpadeva and they wait. They just dig in. They're waiting for a battle. They're like a Greek army of old. They assemble their lines of hoplites, they pitch their tents, and they wait for the enemy to come meet them on the field. Well, I'm going to meet them, but frankly, it's to my advantage that they just halted rather than marched. It would have been really annoying if they took Pulpadeva. Okay, we got... Ooh. Okay, let's see what's going on here. We could have more influence still. We could have a lot more influence. So I don't have to worry about, really what's going on here. Although, certainly should get this guy married. So his people don't just completely kind of get wiped out. Yeah, there's really nothing to do other than... I guess I can educate some of my children. That would be nice. It would give them more power. Okay. I mean, everything seems fine to me. Now, ooh, Macedonia. Finally! We can go ahead and get some more public order. Because it's been awful. And ooh, a Roman army? Are you kidding me? Let's figure out what... Okay. Nothing I can't... that I would struggle to easily defeat, but still. Roman army on my territory. That is news. Now my hero did just get upgraded, so military presence. Yeah, let's do that. I want to see like which ones. Missile. I mean, that's kind of good. That's kind of good as well. I don't really know how these heroes work that well. So I just decided, might as well just read up on them just now. But anyway, so... Phrase. Things are going well, but... the enemy is encamped outside of Pulpiteva. And jeez, they've actually allowed themselves to be surrounded. How idiotic. Well, I quite like how this turned out. That was very convenient for me. But now let's see what happens. I wanted to get the buildings that improve commercial wealth, so it would actually be this one. The one with the boot. And yeah, I wanted this. So wanted the one with the boot here. There's like no banditry in this province. Like I could totally upgrade this building. Absolutely, I should upgrade that building. I mean, I'm going to lose 2 food on this. I would lose 4 food on this, which kind of does suck. If I went for this upgrade. And I already got the upgrade here, so truly would lose out quite a bit of food. Yeah, I can't afford to do a Desos just yet. I could afford this, though. So I think I should just do Pulpiteva. Okay, so here we have it. I do see the Romans here, so I think I will just chill in Larissa with my king for a bit. Plus, the Cimerians are close too, so double trouble! Really don't like the movements of either, but the king of the Cimerians is now quartered in Thrace. We'll see what happens. The Romans have landed, but they have not declared war on me yet, so I don't really know what their intention is. They could be here to fight Illyrians, you know, there's other opponents in this region. Once again, the Cimerians decide to just fortify over here. It's not a particularly intelligent move. Like, I'm just going to knock them back by attacking their army with my 2 armies. And then they'll probably back off, and it'll be 2 versus 1. I'll smash them. Don't mind doing that. It's just a bizarre thing to opt into. Alright, let's see what my options are this turn. I mean, when I don't quite like the position of his army, it's oddly hostile, but the actual composition of the army itself is not particularly hostile to me. Alright, let's see what else is going on. This faction rises. This is like somewhere in the Far East, yeah. This is somewhere like Media. It doesn't matter at all to me. The Thracians are particularly happy. Ooh, okay. There's a war in Illyria. Yeah, that's kind of good. It's like a distraction to my enemies. I don't really think that there's a whole lot that I can do. Outside of, actually, over here. Ah, I don't have copper, so I can't improve that. But I did just get the research. Now that I've done all of that research, I'm going to start working on civil stuff to a much greater extent. So let's go ahead and confront this Cimerian army. Like I said, I'm going to use my 2 armies to knock him off, and then I'm going to attack him. And now he's 2 versus 1. Like, again, why this mad dash into my territory without backup? It's silly, and my units have been recuperating. As split as my population is, we do occasionally get recruits, and you can see that my units are starting to fill out once again. I just have to see where my... Okay, I see what's going on. So we have... Oh, okay, so my army is coming out here, but this is a garrison. Oh, that's kind of cute. Although, you know what, my garrisons are like a little bit light on troops right now. Maybe I shouldn't expect too much of them in this battle. Don't really want to lose my garrisons, but my regulars are going to be able to handle these Cimerians quite easily. I'm sure of it. Go ahead and form up my phalanxes, get my peltis right on the flanks. We can do some light hoplites on one flank. We can do some Agrionians and light hoplites on the other. We can do a little bit of... we can do some Sarissa Lancers, why not? I can get my general behind my men in actuality. Absolutely. Now we can absolutely go and just get our cavalry up here on the wing. Get our pikes in the vicinity of the fight. Farm up some archers behind them. Okay, we're gonna get every single unit just set up in perfect marching order, just perfect campaign order. See, my skirmishers are definitely going to outrun the phalanges. Definitely going to outrun all of the heavy spearmen, but heavy spearmen aren't going to be trailing super far behind either. We have to like actually properly group this army up so we can take them off the hill. Okay, it's just like kind of a skirmish group. Get our cavalry within range. At the end of the day, that's going to be a very disjointed fight, and I hope that I can react quick enough, because I'm kind of controlling too many men right now. But it is what it is. The enemy is very weak. So a victory here wouldn't be like particularly indicative of anything. On my part, it's just kind of the inevitable. I just have to charge them down properly. It's the way I see my task here. Enemy is charging into their deaths, or screaming for war cries as they helt in like the barbarians they are. Hopefully my archers are nimble enough to pick their targets and, you know, mangle some of these Thracians. Here we go, some of the Agrianian charges. Like I said, these guys, they aren't the most armored, but boy, do they pack a punch. Look at these guys. Got 10 kills off that charge. Actually, not that many. not that many kills of that charge, but honestly, it's like when it comes to that type of unit, like a Thracian unit that's very low armor and stuff, my Agrianians aren't the best at killing them. They're better at killing the more heavily armored endgame infantry, because their axes do immense armor-piercing damage. So whenever you see axemen and stuff, you want to use them on the enemy elite units. Not like light infantry, that's like high attack, high charge. That type of unit is the bane of axe units, because then their armor piercing is kind of useless. And it severely weakens what their battle merits really are, like what their actual skill set is capable of doing. It just completely fails against like good Thracian light infantry sometimes, but last, it doesn't matter. Well, once again, this was a 2 versus 1, right? And the enemy army wasn't capable of beating one of my armies, let alone both. So it doesn't really matter. We will rout the enemy. They're running low on troops at this point. A lot of our units are surrounded by better men. Man, what an ideal shot my archers are not taking. Like, look at just this beautiful hoplite, just assembled for war. Just, it reminds you of heroes of old. We could be shooting straight into their flank. Yeah, the enemy's all considering routing because of army losses, but now really is going to be losses of men in that hoplite. Damn, dude. Only 180 losses. That's like nothing, dude. The loss of one infantry unit in total, and I obliterated an entire army, just smashed it. Dead to the man. Seriously. That's incredible. Well, there we have it. Pulpadeba does not need to fear reprisals from Cimeria. We can now have our men patrol the province. Try to bring things into order of some sort. Okay, we can go and just get some basic upgrades on her. But then it's like... honestly, I have no idea what to do here outside of what I've done. Like, this army can't exactly use it as a navy. That would be very strange. And I don't want to confront the Romans just yet. We're only -1 in this province right now, so it's not that bad. Yeah, I think we're good. I mean, we have, like, consolidated Thrace to an extent here. There's quite a few very productive civic buildings under construction. Thrace started to actually generate an income of sorts. The Cimerians have lost a significant army, even if one remains at large. And, you know, eventually I will just start a navy, and that navy will obliterate these Cimerian rejects. So how far are they from their land? Like, I just don't see the Bithynians as like a worthy ally. There's no way that they'll ever grow large. I've never seen the Bithynians ascend to be any faction of prominence, so don't really think it's a worthwhile thing to tie myself to them. They did kind of want to do this. I don't want to do the colony. That's an insane amount of food loss. So we definitely don't need this. Does it add anything to population or to recruitment? A little bit. Tiny bit. I think that it's pretty good. It'll get us what we need. Okay, I think that we just wait the turn out here. Let's see, political rivals. Silliness. We've just destroyed a petulant rebellion. Why would rivals try to do anything to me? Okay, honestly, I really need a larger family. I really hope that some kid finally grows up or something. Let's see, the Romans, another turn without war. I mean, this is exactly what I wanted. Time to recuperate, time to retain. But yeah, let's just see what happens. Ooh, finally the Cimerians disembark, and the king is ready to spear those men like the fish they are. Cimerians for a ragged flag, and I don't like that. Okay, we're gonna have to find kind of like a permanent resting place for these armies. So let's move one towards the west of Thrace, keep one in the east, and we can go have the king hunt down that Cimerian army. I think that they might even have the movement speed for it. Is it time for the Pharaoh's reforms? Yes, the Pharaoh's reforms. I love that. Okay, the Polybian reforms hit at the same time, though. You know, that's a buff to Rome. It goes both ways. The Romans also are getting somewhere here. Now, the Cimerians, I'm gonna go kill them. That's gonna be the first order of the day. The Cimerians, they have no right to be here. In beautiful Hellas. They were dining on the grapes of Sparta. That's not okay. That's not alright. I cannot condone that. So ultimately, a group of 6 pikemen are going to have to dominate the center of my line. We can have a unit of hoplites on like either flank, kind of a little bit off to the extreme of the flank, with 2 Agrionians backing him up on either side. So your flanks are going to be a little bit flexible. I want the hoplites to take the initial hit of any type of like attack, because they're very, very sturdy hoplites, these Greek veterans. I mean, look at them. Look at those bronze breastplates. These guys are insanely good at the defense. Like, they aren't going to die to much. And then these guys are going to help support them, get kills for them, that type of thing. And we have 4 units of Cretan archers that are going to be really, really good. And hopefully they'll dominate the missile fight against Cimmeria. Because even though the Cimmerians do have the potential for very strong missile units, I didn't see a lot on their side. Looking at the unit cards, I really didn't see a ton. So this battle features Peltis pikemen, elite pikemen from my top class. I mean, you can just see the glamour in their uniforms. They're just so sick. But yeah, a lot of janky hoplite formations are dominating this hill. I see a lot of weakened cavalry formations on the flanks. I don't really see the enemy missile component. I'm gonna have my infantry kind of form up opposite my enemy. We'll have my archers formed up behind enemy too. I don't really see any support for those particular cavalry units, so... But you know what? I think the enemy cavalry are just gonna try to, like... be the decisive element for the enemy. The one chance of victory, so I'm gonna have to make sure to have my cavalry just formed up, ready to intercept the enemy. At the end of the day, it's my infantry that are gonna win, so it's like... I do want the enemy cavalry to not be able to play an important role in this battle. I just need to neutralize their general impact. Enemy's getting very frisky with her cavalry, as I kind of anticipated. But at the end of the day, I think that they didn't realize just how, like, spectacular my general is. And to be honest, the enemy Bosphorus cavalry, a particular unit that the enemy is favoring in this battle, it's just not very good. Like, honestly, it's just not very good. Okay, we can start getting our cavalry behind enemy. Crap, that was a blunder. Charge is not gonna let my men rest easy. Okay, this is like a group of like 60 hoplites. I don't want to allow my men to just... get screwed over here because we're gonna get charged, because we're gonna have to charge into a hoplite of some sort. Like, don't want my men to have such a grisly end, such a thoughtless end. They're part of the king's companions. Instead, let's just have the men of Antigonus II charge into the rear and start chopping down Thracians. This group of companions is more or less unbloodied at this point, so we need to learn to kill Thracians. There aren't a lot of Thracians left, unfortunately. It's only the Cimerians that employ them at this point. And us, I guess the Agrionians, they're Thracians. But yeah, the enemy cavalry, they honestly distinguished themselves pretty well. It just... my cavalry did fight them from the beginning of the battle to the end, and they kind of kept their impact contained. Like, you can see, my Thessalians still outperformed the enemy cavalry just fine. But you can see, like, one unit here killed 23, one unit killed 10. Like, I lost some Thessalians to keep the enemy cavalry busy, while my infantry just dominated the enemy. Just every infantry unit has lots of kills. Very few of the enemy infantry units have lots of kills. But that one Thracian warrior got 53. There's an occasional gem in this roster. Alright. Can go ahead and start getting... Let's start getting some of these traditions. It's awesome. have our general stay for now. When it comes to this army, we can go to Odessos. Ooh, okay. Now we can go ahead and just reform some of our units. Ooh, Verfreo swordsman now. That's awesome. Although not particularly important or anything, but it's cool. Now what about this army? We can go bring them more towards Nasos. And you know what? I think that that's probably ideal. Where did our Roman army go? Just wondering, I saw like a full stack. How strange, we just disappear into the night. Not particularly Roman. Far more cowardly move than I expected the Romans. And you know what? I also have a lot of money at this point. And I did want to potentially invest in some sort of navy. I mean, I feel that a navy could be useful. They feel that a navy could be very useful, actually. But I'm just wondering, like, who do we have to recruit? I mean, we do have very, very, very loyal subjects. We can go recruit, like, a navy from this guy, I think. Let's do this. Let's make a navy here. Look at the ship. Let's start recruiting. Okay, so the navy is going strong now. We moved our armies to the full extent that we can. There's no more buildings that we want to make here, other than perhaps it's time to consider this. I mean, we've improved the food capacity of Hellas a little bit. Clearly we have. Let's allow another turn to go by. We've destroyed both Cimerian armies that were threatening us. That's fantastic. That foe has been neutralized. Thrace doesn't have positive public order, but you know what? It's far from negative. It's far from extremely negative. It's improving turn by turn. Even though it's laborious, and we have two armies that are patrolling the area at the same time. Bithynia keeps on asking for alliances, but they're slipping into irrelevancy quite steadily. Also, Macedonia is soon going to have good public order, so you know what? Our patience has paid off. Nice. Oracle of Delphi has spoken in our favor. Probably paid her off, but you know what? That's how you get ahead. Honestly, I would love to like rig that type of ceremonial stuff, like the Oracle of Delphi. Pay someone to say, "Ooh, good omens, great omens. Await you." Okay, anyway, so we are waiting for the Scythians to show up on the seed, if they're even going to. So that we can wait for. Can also park this unit here. Everything looks good. Price is going to improve public order-wise, and Macedon's going to improve steadily public order-wise. We're also going to create more men here. Just the more, you know, the larger the ship, the more you have to spend. But I don't want to waste my middle class on crappy ships. Let's go for 2 good ones and another garbage one. I mean, it's good that we could just get, like... Let's get the mercenary ones. I'll go for 1 Rhodian Slinger. I mean, it is very expensive to have this type of navy, but it's fine. We'll have it within a couple of turns, and it'll be great. And yeah, outside of that, I think we're basically done moving for the turn. Let's just end it. I'm going to play out 1 more turn after this one, but we more or less maneuvered ourselves into a good position. I'm quite content. We have a navy, 3 excellent armies. Our provinces that have bad public order are steadily progressing into having good public order at a rate that I'm quite confident will continue. Now, I'm unsure about whether the Bosphorus Kingdom or the Scythians will actually prove to be a real threat, but I'm going to leave an army in the east at all times to patrol that area. So it's not going to be, like, particularly bad if they do attack me. We will be able to meet them in battle quite easily. Anyway, let us play out this turn. So the governor has improved. We can get more public order if it gets prudent, and of course more commercial income. Excellent. Yeah, this army is just going to stay. Can go through those reforms, get some more armor. All commerce absolutely is useful. And we have 15 food in the fall too, so our food supply is steadily improving too. It's awesome. I can see a crappy Roman navy nearby, but nothing substantial to block my path. There we go. I mean, let's see. Should I attack these guys? I mean, should I attack the Romans? It's the fall. Let's wait for the springtime. Let's wait for the springtime. So I have full movement speed. And so we have full intel. And so we're done retaining our provinces. So we're done kind of consolidating our provinces, rather. Not retaining. Yeah, we can just wait our army here. And you know what? I think we're done with the turn. There really isn't a whole lot to do. I mean, you know what? Actually, there is with the recruitment of a navy. Just wondering. But I don't really have much like population to shed either way. Actually, I could go to. I can't recruit very many types of units here, though. I won't really be able to recruit any units if I go to Crete, so it matters not. We can recruit a lot. You know what? Let's just get a couple of more second-class units and just call it a day here. Or I could get a Cretan. No, I need to get some more fighters. I need to get some actually like good fighting ships. Just get 2 of these. I believe the Greek Marines cost Polytides no matter what. One more of these, and then yeah, I can't really recruit anymore. That's it, really. Create an archer and Yeah, that'll be my navy. It's a very powerful navy, even if it's not a very large one, but it'll have to serve its purpose for the time being. And yeah, let's just wait. Let's wait for everything else. For turn to go by, and it'll save my game, and that will be it. But I'm quite happy by the progress that we've made in this stream. Everything's consolidated. Cimerians were beat back. The Illyrians were made peace with. Just everything is so much more stable. We have an absolutely epic army with the gig of it. Did you guys see how we eviscerated those Cimerians near Sparta? Overall, we are in a great condition for this campaign. As we stream forward against Rome, we'll definitely know that we've benefited from this consolidation period. So I'm very, very happy. Very, very, very happy. But that's it for today. Thanks so much for watching, and yeah, I hope to see you with the next episode. Bye for now.